Growing rosemary can be a rewarding experience, whether you are a seasoned gardener or a novice, just starting your journey into the world of herbs. This aromatic perennial not only enhances your culinary creations, but also adds beauty to your garden with its evergreen foliage and delicate blue flowers. To successfully grow rosemary, you need to consider several important factors, including the right conditions, planting techniques, care, and harvesting methods. Here's a step-by-step guide to help you cultivate this wonderful herb. The first step in growing rosemary is to understand its preferred growing conditions. Rosemary thrives in well-draining soil and requires full sunlight for at least 6 to 8 hours a day. This herb is native to the Mediterranean region, which means it enjoys warm and dry climates. If you live in a cooler area, you may want to consider growing rosemary in pots that can be moved indoors during the colder months. When selecting a location, look for a spot that receives ample sunlight and has good air circulation. Once you've identified the ideal location, the next step is to prepare the soil. Rosemary prefers sandy or loamy soil that is slightly alkaline. If your garden soil is heavy or clay-like, consider amending it with sand or perlite to improve drainage. You can also mix in some organic matter, such as compost, to enrich the soil. Aim for a pH level between 6.0 and 7.0 for optimal growth. Before planting, loosen the soil to a depth of about 12 inches, breaking up any clumps and removing rocks or debris. Now that your soil is ready, it's time to choose how you want to propagate your rosemary. You can either start from seeds, cuttings, or nursery plants. Starting from seeds can be a bit challenging, as rosemary seeds have a low germination rate and can take a long time to sprout. If you choose this method, sow the seeds indoors about 10 to 12 weeks before the last frost date. Use seed trays filled with a seed starting mix. Lightly cover the seeds with soil and keep them moist but not soggy. Once the seedlings have developed 2 sets of true leaves, you can transplant them into larger pots or directly into the garden. A more common and easier method is to propagate rosemary from cuttings. To do this, take a healthy stem from an existing rosemary plant, ideally one that is about 4 to 6 inches long. Remove the leaves from the lower half of the cutting and place it in a glass of water or directly into a pot with moist potting mix. If you choose the potting mix method, you can dip the cut end in rooting hormone to encourage faster root development. Keep the soil consistently moist and place the pot in a warm, sunny location. In a few weeks, you should see roots developing, and then you can transplant the cutting into your garden or a larger pot. If you prefer the simplest approach, buying a nursery plant is the quickest way to get started. When purchasing rosemary from a nursery, look for healthy, robust plants with vibrant green leaves and no signs of pests or disease. Once you have your plant, gently remove it from its container and loosen any tightly bound roots before planting it in your prepared garden bed or pot. After planting, it's essential to provide your rosemary with the right care. Watering is crucial, especially during the first few weeks as the plant establishes itself. However, rosemary is drought-tolerant and prefers to dry out between waterings. Overwatering can lead to root rot, so it's best to err on the side of caution. A good rule of thumb is to water when the top inch of soil feels dry to the touch. If you're growing rosemary in a pot, ensure that the container has drainage holes to prevent water from accumulating at the bottom. Fertilizing rosemary is generally not necessary, as it thrives in poorer soils. However, if you'd like to give your plant a boost, you can apply a balanced, slow-release fertilizer in the spring. Just be careful not to over-fertilize, as this can lead to excessive foliage growth at the expense of flavor. Pest control is another aspect of rosemary care. While rosemary is relatively pest-resistant, it can still attract aphids, spider mites, and whiteflies. To manage pests, regularly inspect your plants for any signs of infestation. If you notice any pests, you can wash them off with a strong stream of water or use insecticidal soap as a natural remedy. Additionally, maintaining good air circulation around your plants can help prevent fungal diseases. As your rosemary plant grows, you may want to consider pruning it to encourage bushier growth and prevent it from becoming leggy. Prune your rosemary in the spring or early summer, cutting back about 1/3 of the plant. This will promote new growth and help maintain a compact shape. Additionally, removing any dead or damaged stems will improve air circulation and overall plant health. Finally, when it comes to harvesting your rosemary, the best time to do so is just before the plant flowers, as this is when the leaves are most flavorful. Use sharp scissors or pruning shears to snip off the stems, taking care not to remove more than 1/3 of the plant at a time. You can use fresh rosemary in your cooking or dry it for later use. To dry rosemary, simply tie the stems together and hang them upside down in a cool, dark place until the leaves crumble easily. Store the dried herb in an airtight container away from light and moisture. Growing rosemary is a fulfilling endeavor that can enhance your garden and your culinary experiences. By following these steps, from understanding its growing conditions to proper care and harvesting techniques, you can cultivate a thriving rosemary plant that will provide you with fresh herbs for years to come. Whether you use it to season your favorite dishes or simply enjoy its fragrant aroma, rosemary is a delightful addition to any garden.